Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Ghost Trick. I did have this recorded about a day ago. Unfortunately, it didn't have any sound. And this section seems like it's kind of important, so I think it might be nice to have some sound, so we're gonna re-record it. Anyway, last time we had done that, we'd saved that one guy with missile, and we'd now come here. Jowd had ripped open the box with fantastic powers of his called strength and raw determination, and now we need to talk to everybody. What's the matter? I just don't know. What should I have done 5 years ago? Back then, nobody had any way of knowing the true nature of the manipulator. It wasn't anybody's fault that we didn't know the truth. Do you really think so? Of course. Besides, what's important right now is deciding what to do next. Am I right? She's right, Mr. Minister. Yes, of course. I do believe she is. What is it now? I just don't know. What should I do next? You'll figure it out. We believe in you. That wasn't very helpful. What do we do? I have no idea. And I can't talk to her, but we can talk to Jowd. Cecil, if you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would be gone by now, without ever having known any of this. This is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. But things are different now. Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened. Tonight, I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives and got involved in their fates. And the only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. But things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow, I just know it. It might be why, he's painting a picture of you, and that's why I need to ask you a few more questions. In order to find the truth out about us. Fair enough, fire away. Well, I was most concerned with Camilla's contraption, because it is a little odd that just one or two simple changes could change it from happy birthday to you're dead. That contraption was a birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it? That's right. Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere. No surprise there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine. Right? I knew it. See, Detective Jowd? No, I'm afraid I don't see. I told Detective Jowd about it. Now I do see. I told him about seeing the exact same contraption tonight in a completely different place. What about that old guy that lived there? That's a little suspicious, isn't it? That's very strange indeed. A junkyard on the edge of town? I've never even heard of the place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption. You haven't? That old pigeon guy. Who in the world is he? Oh well, we'll think more on that later. So what about this manipulator guy? Cecil told me all about it, Detective Jowd. About the manipulator. Yes, and it looks like the manipulator really did a number on the minister too. Please don't pick on the minister. If he dies again, I'm the one who has to save him. Ooh. Cecil, do you think that's what happened to me too? What are you talking about, Lynn? Don't tell me. You were manipulated too! It seems like it, doesn't it? She shot Cecil. There was always a part of me that just couldn't believe it. The image of the one who shot me. But now I see the possibility of a new explanation. I see, she was just being possessed. Of course, that'll hold up in court. But who is it? And why did they do it? Oh well, let's talk about Timzik. Detective Jowd, you must have heard this name before. Timzik. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there. So you found out about that, did you? Well, I guess I'll have to kill you. Wait, you're a ghost, you're already dead. I heard that meteorite saved little Lynn's life. That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynn that day. But in that case, I don't get it. If it's true, doesn't it mean that you didn't steal someone's life away? And that a freak accident did just save her life? What are you talking about? Detective Jowd, you told me that 10 years ago. The person who killed the perpetrator in the park was you. What? But it was the meteorite. I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away, no question about it. It was entirely my fault. And how so? I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come. At that point, I was already a murderer. That's not true. You were trying to save me. Lynn, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it. Huh? The truth about 10 years ago. On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place. Another place? Yes, in the police headquarters interrogation room. The worst sort of incident. A suspect who was being questioned escaped. Wow, I didn't know about that. I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there! I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him bad. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was a young and green detective, brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. I made him panic, and got you involved, Lynn. It was all my fault. Detective Jowd. All I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynn. So, the man who grabbed me died that day. These last 10 years, I've never forgotten his face. And then a few years after that, when my wife Alma died in such a mysterious way, I thought it was fate, my punishment for what I'd done. I painted pictures in my cell, nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of the many people I'd met in my life and didn't want to forget. And tonight, I finished my last portrait, the final face I wanted to remember. Which was... Oh, don't hold it out on me, Jowd. The final face. The face of the man in the park that day. Wait just 1 minute. That can't be. I saw the painting. I saw the face you painted tonight. It was me. Or my evil twin brother that looks an awful lot like me from 10 years ago. It was my face. Are you telling me I was the man in the park that time? Look at that fashionable hair. That's right. The face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole. Of the man who was pronounced dead at the scene. But hold on, Detective Jowd. That can't be true. I just met Cecil for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me. By the way, the name I know the man in the park that day by isn't Cecil. What? From the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy? Oh no, sudden phone call interrupts all our fun. Mr. Minister. Inspector Cabanella, where are you? Just be quiet and listen, this is our demand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's part of the bad guys. What? Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage. What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanela? And you know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted. Does it really matter who the hostage is? A life is a life. Even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. Wow. Inspector Cabanela, please. What is it, Mr. Minister? You look paler than ever. What in the world? What's going on, Inspector Cabanela? Never knew he was the bad guy. The rock of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago twisted the fates of many people and started a chain of tragic events. And even now, the chain continues to grow even longer. Inspector Cabanela's call proved that to us. And the greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who is this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? I'm even further from knowing than when I started. The mysteries continue. Didn't expect Cabanela to be the bad guy. Cabanela, why? "10 years ago, a man named Cecil took a little girl named Lynn hostage, and then was killed by a meteorite fragment. Tonight, a man named Cecil met a detective named Lynn at a junkyard on the edge of town, and then was killed by a bullet. But the scene I find waiting for me on the other end of the phone line feels like the final nail in the coffin of my lost memory. Wow. Cecil, I can't believe you did it. I see. Myself. Myself, why did you do it? Why'd you kill him? There you are, Commander Sith, finally. Cecil, where have you been, good man? We've been looking everywhere for you. Had a little unfinished business to take care of. Didn't think it would take this long. What about your people? They sure went out of their way to mess me up. I say, I believe we fulfilled every one of your conditions in our little deal. What right do you have to complain about anything outside our bargain? We can talk about that when we get together. This will be our last communication by telephone. We'll arrive in 1 hour. I look forward to seeing you, Cecil." Dawn is approaching. The darkness surrounding my own mystery is deep. But I know it's always darkest before the dawn. Yes, we're nearing the final stages of our little deal, my good man. Yes, sir. All preparations are complete, sir. And we just had a report, sir. Lights have been spotted. Sir. Have they now? By all means, let me have a look. Don't slap it. No, he slapped it. We need to get this replaced, sir. It's been slapped too many times. Yes, we're very close. We will now disconnect from the communication cable and have no service until we arrive, sir. Very well. And enjoy your fruit, sir. While we have a slightly lower resolution but still somewhat more amazing view of the room. And it is, in fact, a submarine. I kind of thought that he was going to be in an airship, honestly. Submarine was slightly surprising. Nice try, Inspector Cabanela. But you could never stop me. Look at that grin, that evil grin here. See ya, sucker. Gotta love that hair. Wait, kind of bobs. Oh, well, what do we have to think about that? So, that submarine guy and his people have a deal going with me, do they? If that's the case, they probably aren't the ones who killed me, right? Anyway, there's definitely something behind the inspector's death. I think I better talk to him. Assuming he's, conscious enough to talk right now. Hey, do you think you could wake up for me? Oh boy. Still unconscious, eh? I guess he hasn't been dead for very long then. I'll just go ahead and go back to 4 minutes before his death. I'm a little nervous about what I might see there, though. But if that's where I'm gonna find my answers, I can't run away from it. Let's go! Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. Ah, so we didn't miss much time here, did we? That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. It gives me complete control over the top police inspector in the county. What's the matter? All those broken bones smart of it? What's it like to feel pain? Does it make you feel alive? Why are you doing this? Now, is that any kind of question for a top inspector to ask? Isn't it obvious? Revenge, of course. Revenge on all the people who stole my life away 10 years ago. Don't be ridiculous. It was a meteorite that stole your life. Or have you forgotten that? Cecil, your hand's on fire. It was murdered by all of you. Cecil, your hand's still on fire. Detective Jowd, who chased me down and forced me into a corner even though I was innocent. Lynn, that girl who was right there where I was running. Lynn? She was just an innocent little girl playing in the park. If that brat hadn't been there, I never would have thought of taking a hostage. It sounds like a personal problem, but we'll take it for now. That is the most self-centered garbage I've ever heard. And finally, you, Inspector Cabanella. Me? If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid and made impromptu rhymes. You were so proud of your spotless record. And my case was the one blot on it, wasn't it? Only two people know the real truth. Me and Detective Jowd. I bet tonight's execution will be quite a relief to you, won't it? One of the people who know about the stain on your record will disappear for good. That's why you didn't help him escape from the prison. That's the kind of guy you are. I got nothing to say to you. You'd never listen anyway. Oh, he got the gun. Oh, he shot him. So vicious. Uh-oh. This ain't looking good. Ye gods. Now then, Inspector. Time to make a big red stain on your spotless white coat. Well, that was utterly convenient. This was another condition of my deal. To wipe out everybody who knew about Temzik. It's aliens, I tell you. The aliens came down in the rock. Turned Cecil into an alien. Revenge? That's what I'm up to? None of this makes any sense. Hey man! Mind telling me what's going on? Inspector Cabanella? He's awake. My head is spinning, baby. Am I to understand that Cabanella character who just got shot is me? That's right. And you're supposed to be the scoundrel there who shot me. I guess so. But you couldn't be, could you? Huh? After all, the guy in the red suit just walked out the door, right? So, who are you? I guess I'll just have to face it. I'm not that Cecil guy. I'm somebody who's searching for himself. That's why I'm here to save you. At the very least, you have information about that guy in red. Information I need. So you came on a rescue mission now, did you? Nothing like the sound of that, baby. Because there's a very important life here somewhere. A life valuable to this nation. Okay, so do your thing, baby. Well, let's do our thing, as it were. So what do we have to think here? So, are you a manipulator too? I have ghost tricks, powers of the dead, yeah, but I can't control living creatures. Anywho, I think you better be very careful. That guy in red is a manipulator. Naturally, he knows about powers like yours. If he realizes you're here, things might get a little sticky. You're right. I'd better be careful. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Look at him. Oh yeah, let's do this first. There's that something emanating from his body. Is it really the sign of having special powers of the dead? Looks like it. Now, unfortunately, if we were to do something kind of conspicuous like this... Uh-oh. What's going on? I've never seen the ghost world like this. So you're here, are you? He sensed my presence. I noticed you. You think you can stop me, do you? I don't know why you're wearing my face. But you might as well give up now. I control everything. Shoot him already. Everything, including the life of this police inspector in white. How unfortunate. Wait, don't shoot! Immediately shoots. What a jerk. This other me knows the powers of the dead well. Who wouldn't notice what you just did? You were practically shouting, "Look at me, baby!" It looks like it might be hard to save you under these circumstances. I guess I can't use my powers right in front of him like that. So it seems that in order to properly use our powers, we're going to have to do it behind his back. Also, interestingly enough, this is about where we're going to stop, by the way. Interestingly enough, we have the power to turn back time to save somebody's life. Does he have a similar power? Because otherwise that could lead to some weird paradoxy looking things. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. That's where I got to in the last episode. I did a test before this one to make sure that my audio was actually working this time, so hopefully it's still working. It was because I unplugged a cable. I have like lots of cables around here. And one such cable got unplugged, unfortunately. So, hopefully that all works out. Thank you guys for watching, sorry about the delay, and I'll see you next time for some more Ghost Trick. Bye!